Hello and welcome. My name is Mikado. I'm the funnel gamer, and today I want to talk about a really important topic, a topic that is truly near and dear to my heart because over the last decade, I've had the honor, the privilege to be able to help so many entrepreneurs just like you to be able to grow and scale their business. As a matter of fact, we've helped dozens of entrepreneurs go from 6 figures to 7 and 8 figures. Most of them today still have the same business running, and some of them sold it, some of them ended up shutting it down, going and doing something else that was more along the lines of their passion after they took their money, their profits, and then were able to go do what they wanted to do. And there's still a lot of them are still running their business today. As a matter of fact, we've kind of analyzed all of our past clients and current clients as well. And together they generate hundreds of thousands of leads every single year. They book tens of thousands of sales calls every single year, and they generate hundreds of millions of dollars every single year. So what I'm going to share with you is the culmination of everything that I've learned over the last decade and how that can be implemented in your business, how you can take that information and you can implement it in your business and be able to create everything you want to create from it. So first things first, a majority of what I'm going to share, pretty much all of what I'm going to share, is specifically designed for companies that want more sales appointments, right? Whether that's an in-person appointment, somebody coming into your store, coming into your shop, coming into your location, or a phone or Zoom appointment where they're coming to speak or virtually meet you. So that's what a lot of this is built around. Everything that we've built is designed from that. Now, I've learned this process over the last decade by implementing for ourselves, by interviewing some of the most brilliant entrepreneurs on this planet. If you don't know, I was the publisher, well, technically still am, but we haven't published in a while, publisher of Funnel Magazine. And through Funnel Magazine, I got to interview about 37 different industry leaders and got to understand what their business is, how they did it, all of the ins and outs of how they were able to grow and scale. Now, all these business leaders, they were doing in the first year, we did anybody who is 7 figures and above. Then everybody the second year was only 8 figures and above. And then the third year was multi 8 and 9. So, basically 50 million plus. And we have a couple 9 figure earners and a couple 10 figures, so billion-dollar businesses that entrepreneurs that we've interviewed and got to know everything that they, well, not everything, but got to know a lot of what they shared and how they were able to scale, what they did to go from where they were right when they started all the way up to where they were at that point. And the thing is, when I was learning all this, our business actually, at the time when we came up with Funnel Magazine, our business had a massive, massive challenge come up. At the time, we had a service where we provided LinkedIn lead generation, and one of our team members was overproducing, even though the at LinkedIn at the time was working on shutting down the process, and that caused a lot of problems. Our quality went down, and we had to really figure out how to pivot. So through that process, we came up with Funnel Magazine, and it was culminating all of our experience and being able to use it to generate leads. And it then formed and morphed into this amazing thing where we got to test all of the things that are that the people who are interviewing shared. So Ryan Dice, Russell Brunson, Rachel Pedersen, Emily Hirsch, Neil Patel, I already said Ryan Dice, Jay Abraham, uh, Alex Sharfin, Ryan Stewman, Ryan Levesque, Nicholas Kuzmich. There's so many more. Dan Henry, just so many incredible entrepreneurs, and that's just a handful of them. Grant Cardone. Anyway, so we had so many amazing people that came in and shared, and then we took what we learned with them and we started implementing those things with ourselves and then later with our clients. And those incremental shifts helped us start catapulting the success of our funnels, catapulting the success of our sales processes, our follow-up, our messaging, our tracking, our ability to determine what was actually working, what wasn't, how to make sure we were right in the right niche, in the right marketplace, the funnels, everything, right, from end to end. And because of that, we were then able to take that knowledge and test and tweak and implement. And over the years, we ended up with over a couple dozen people and entrepreneurs in their businesses, helping them scale from 6 figures to 7 figures and from 7 figures to 8 figures. And because of that, we got to really get that wide 30,000-foot view of what works and what doesn't. And that was the thing that changed everything for us, right? Being able to see that. And in 2019, my former business partner with the agency that did about, probably 80% of the work up to that point, and we've helped a couple of other people since then hit the $1 million mark and $10 million mark. That has all of that stuff that I did before with them, and then my agency shut down, my business partner, I split, and I really got to look at what was working, what wasn't. What were the things that helped us shift in our business? How did we make sure that the clients that we were having success with continued to have success with? What were the things that actually moved the needle? What were the things that they all had in common? And I started analyzing this and really looking at it and getting to a place where I could understand everything that was going on. And I looked back on each one of these and went back to some of them, asked them, and we discovered that every single one of them had a component missing that, or more than one, but at least one component missing that was holding them back from going from the 6 figure mark to the 7 and 8 figure mark. And it was generally a couple little tweaks, little things that we had to do to shift and move within their marketing, right? Within their messaging, within their follow-up, within their value ladder, within their sales process and their sales funnels, within their tracking. If we could figure out what was going on in each one of those, then we were able to come in and help them, what we call turn on beast mode. We literally just boom, turn the key and boom, they're ready to go. They're out in the world. Their marketing started working. I had a conversation. He actually didn't even become a client. It was literally, we were on a call together in somebody else's program. We're both in the same mastermind. And we got on, we talked about messaging. And we tweaked his messaging just a little bit. I was just providing feedback. That little tweak literally changed the game for him. And he went from making $100,000 a year, about 10 grand a month, to making $100,000 a month in just about 30, 45 days. And that's the power of having that one tweak. And that all that knowledge had accumulated up to that point where I was able to come in and go, oh yeah, hey, look, you've got this messaging piece here. We just need to tweak that. You've got some really great content down below that should get moved up. We just move some stuff around and we're able to shift it for him. And he sent me a thank you later, just like, hey, here, thanks so much. You rock, you're awesome. And the thing is, this is what every business needs. Every business has a foundation. If you're at 6 figures, right? If you're at 6 figures, you've got the foundation laid, almost guaranteed. Now, I have seen a few businesses trip over a couple hundred grand, and it is possible, especially in a few industries. But for the most part, you've got the foundations laid. Now we got to come in and make sure that there's no cracks in your foundation, first of all. And second of all, that we can build the house on top of it. You might have the foundation there, you have the frame there, you might even have a roof on, but we just got to put walls on that house, right? You might have walls up, but you need to put a roof on it. You might need doors instead of walls, right? You need to put a way for people to come in, open that shop up, create that environment, that experience. And so as you're coming in and we're working with you on building your business, as you're taking this process and using it to build your business, I want you to think of everything as a central flow. Somebody comes in, they are in the marketplace, right? This is the market. When you're in the market, you have to talk to the right people. You have to speak to them in their words, right? Focus on the talk track that's going on in their head about the problem that they have based on their current perception of the problem. And if you can do that, then you know how to speak to them. If you know where they are at in the buying process, now you're able to win. The next, you got to find them, right? Great. I know how to talk to them. Now, where do I find them? Where do they hang out? What's the place that if I was to go to them, right? Whether it's online or offline, whether it's a paid location or a paid traffic source or a free traffic source, aka your time. If you know where to find them and you know how to talk to them, now all you have to do is provide them with the experience that they're looking for. You have to give them the experience that they want, that they need, that they're looking for in order to be able to come and go, yeah, well, I want to know more. Can you help me with my problem? Can you help me with the solution that I'm looking for? Do you have a service or a product or a program that will make my life easier? Because if you do, then I want to learn more and I want to see if you're the right fit. And by knowing the market, by understanding the market that you're in, knowing everything about it, this is only the foundational component. This is your foundation. You have to have that in place. So the next stage, now, when I talk about this process, I'm talking about the planning process, understanding how to create it all. Normally, when we talk about the actual content of everything, like when somebody's going through the experience, right? We're not talking about it in the order that I'm going to share, right? They're usually like, hey, great, I've got traffic and it's going to my funnel, and then I'm going to follow up with people and they're going to buy my offers, and then I'm going to deliver on message and everything's going to be hunky-dory. But when we actually build it, when we create it, when we're planning it, when we're developing all of it, we want to focus on it ultimately reverse order. So first, once we have that foundation laid, then we want to look at what's the messaging. How do we create bold messages that attract the lead in? From there, what can we do to follow up with them so that it is an epic experience? What can we do to create epic follow-up that allows the customer, the prospect ultimately at that point, to go through that journey and create that experience that they want to have, right? Give them that experience that they want to have. What is the ladder, the value ladder that you can bring somebody through, right? When somebody comes to you, ultimately they're like Atlas. They're holding the world on their shoulders and they're asking for somebody to help them. Their problem is a weight on their back. And you have to come in to help them to alleviate that weight, to alleviate that problem. If you can do that, now you can help shift their mind. You can help shift their challenges. You can provide them solutions, and you can incrementally or exponentially move them up your value ladder to a point where someone could go from spending $5 or $10 on a course, or $27 or a product, whatever it is, right? Course or product, all the way up to spending tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars with you over the course of their lifetime getting your service. And that is the power of having the right value ladder. Once you have your value ladder in place, then and only then should you be looking at building your lead magnets, your sales funnels, all of the things that come with that, right? So inside of sales funnels, there's actually 5 core types of funnels that we found that are most effective with ultimately getting them to book a call. Now, some of these are product funnels, some of them are course funnels, some of them are different, like they have different functionalities in them. But at the end of the day, they are all designed to get people to book an appointment, get on that sales meeting, have a conversation with your team, come in person to your shop if that's how it works. And if you can do that, if you can put them through those 5 processes, those 5 sales processes, then and only then will they incrementally and then ultimately exponentially move up your value ladder. So how do we do that? One, we have to have stories. You have to connect with them through stories. We use storyline funnels and storytelling funnels to create that experience that they can then eliminate their false beliefs. come up with the new beliefs, and understand how their problem isn't as big of a problem because you have a solution. And if they go through all that, then maybe they book a call, but maybe they don't. Maybe they move down to the next, and then you have to help them accelerate through the process and go through an accelerator funnel. This is designed to accelerate them through understanding the problem, the solutions or solution, and how your service provides that solution, which they can learn more about by scheduling a call. From there, you want to leverage your time, leverage your resources. So we put them through the leverage funnel. This is designed to help leverage your time, but it's also designed to give them a process experience, give them some content, right. This could be courses, this could be webinars, this could be groups. However you want to deliver that is up to you, but you need to create a way for them to have that experience. Next is an evaluation funnel, and it is exactly what it sounds like. They are coming to evaluate you and your process. And if they are a fit after they've read through the evaluation or watched through the evaluation, right, what you're giving them as the process, now they're going to submit an application. You're going to then in turn evaluate them. And the final stage is your actual sales process, and then eventually the sales team that helps facilitate the growth through your sales process. And because of that, that is where you're able to grow exponentially. The companies that I've seen that have 7-figure businesses and scaled to 8 figures all had a sales team. And they all got over the fact that their sales reps are not going to sell as much as them. So I hope that you can figure out that at some point, if that's part of your challenge, you're like, man, but if I do the sales, then I make more money. And it's like, well, that may technically be true. You convert more people, but you don't make more money. You don't impact as many people's lives. So you have to get over it. You got to bring on a sales team at some point. So part of the process is that. From there, you have to track everything. There's the age-old adage of, I know 50% of my marketing is working. I just don't know which 50%. Now, that was from back in the day when you had TV and you had radio. That was the main, and newspapers, right? Those were the 3 main ways that people got information and got to learn about products. But today you have so many ways to track. You can even track through TV and radio and newspapers now. There's so many tools, including Funneltopia, which is our software that allows us to be able to facilitate this. If you understand what you need to track, you can understand where they're coming from. You can look at the finite details of, hey, this person clicked on this ad, this person opted into this form, this person expressed interest by commenting on this post. And you take that information and you put it all together in a system. Then you can go, well, if I spend $1 here, it takes 30 days for me to get my dollar back. It takes me 90 days to make $3. It takes me 12 months to make $50. And it takes me 10 years to make $1,000. So spending $1, now obviously you're not spending $1, you're spending $100 a day or $1,000 a day or whatever it is there. But that dollar, when people, and I see this all the time, marketing math is hilarious. This total side note, by the way, marketing math is hilarious. It's like, I got 100% conversion. It's like, okay, did your mom buy? Is that what the 100% was? Because one person is not a statistic. So that's a whole, right? Statistics, you have to have enough information. So that's number one. Number two, when you're looking at your marketing math, right? Most people go, oh, well, I need to break even. It's like, okay, that's fine. Every funnel can break even. Most people just stop 3 feet from the gold. They stop at the 27th day because they go, well, my marketing is not working. I'm not going to make enough money to be able to pay off the credit card. So, you know what, this isn't going to work. And then they missed it because at day 30, if they just kept going just 3 more days, they would have broken even. Or maybe it's another 15 days. Maybe it's 90 days. Maybe it's 180 days. There's a company that will spend $2,000 to acquire a customer. to acquire a high ticket customer who pays them $2,000. Now, with that $2,000, they actually got 10 customers to pay them $200. Sorry, they paid $200 for 10 customers, and they know that 1 out of the 10 will buy their $2,000 product. That's within 180 days. But they also know that after 180 days, everything beyond that is profit. Now, I don't know about you. I don't have 180 days to hold on to that much money. I've got a threshold. My personal threshold is about 45 days. I'm willing to hold and pay out a certain amount of money per customer, right? Ours is $150. We will pay out $150 extra per customer beyond what they pay us back. And we will not earn anything for up to 45 days because we know that after 45 days, we're in pure profit. Now, if I had an unlimited budget, I could take that to 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, because I know that the lifetime value of a customer for us is exponential. So looking at that, and as you grow your business, you will want to extend that out. How can I spend more money to ultimately attract more customers so that I can be the biggest person in the marketplace? And if you can do that, now you can grow and scale your business exponentially. You can grow and scale your business so well, as a matter of fact, that you become the industry leader. You become who everybody wants to know, to see, to go, hey, this is the guy or the gal or the company to know and to work with, to talk about. Like, they know their shit. And that right there is the key. Coming in, supporting, adding value, and looking at how can you do that consistently throughout the time period before they get to the break-even point. Because it is a numbers game, right? Let's say you have 100 people who opt in. Out of the 100 people who opt in, if you're doing great, you got a great funnel, you got 10 of them who purchased your low ticket program, right? Your templates, or watched your webinar. Well, they actually watched it, not just registered for it, right? If you got 100 people who opt in for a lead magnet and then you pitch them on a webinar, about 40 to 60% of those, if you know our formula, will opt into the webinar. We actually get up to 80% sometimes. But then getting them to show up, that's a whole different conversation. That takes a lot of energy. Now, to get them to watch the whole thing, that's even more energy. You got to keep them engaged throughout the whole thing over and over and over and over and over and over again. And when you do that, now you got 10 people who got to the end. Out of the 10 people who got to the end, maybe half of those linger. A third of those say, no, I'm not interested. You got 1 or 2 that say, yeah, I want to know more today. Tomorrow, next week, next month, a year from now, the other people, the other 7 to 9 people decide, you know what, I'm ready. I'm interested now. Let me take a look at this again. So you have to create that consistency across the board and do that follow-up long, long after you think you should be done. And that's at its core, the beast mode, right? That's the beast, actually. The mode part is you have to understand how to put this all together. And we have an intensive program that we do. We have an accelerator that we do. So it's 6 days. And after the 6 days, you will leave with your map to creating your beast in your business. So you can turn on beast mode. From there, we work with you on the offers. We work with you on all the implementation to get everything done. And we then help you execute that and ultimately find the edge that makes you unique and helps you get out into the marketplace more. So we can talk more about that, but I want you to focus on how can you implement this in your business. So if you want to talk more about that, let me know. Send us a message, drop us a comment, whatever the case is. But thinking about this process, or I'm going to cover this again, right? So the first is the market. Are you solid on your market? Do you know their talk track? Do you know, wow, that's a Zoom thing. Do you know their talk track? Do you know where they hang out? Do you know the experience that they want to have? Because if you understand all of those, then you're solid on your foundation. From there, you have to have your bold messaging. If you've got your bold messaging down, you know exactly what to say, when to say, how to say it, and your opt-in rates, your conversion rates from your ads, from emails, like they are through the roof. That's where your bold messaging comes in. From there, if you have all of your follow-up, by the way, there's 4 stages of follow-up, which we get into deeper into our trainings, and I'll go deeper into in some other show recordings as well. When you're focused on the right follow-ups frameworks, you have the right stages in place, now you can grow your business, because you know that if a lead comes in, here's what's going to happen sequentially so that they can turn into a paying customer. And once they're a paying customer, here's what happens sequentially so that they can go to the next stage in your value ladder. And once they go to the next stage, what happens sequentially so that they go to the next stage? And you get the point. It goes up and up and up and up and up and up until they've reached the top. And then once they've reached the top, you better start building a new top. Just saying. All right. That's follow-up, right? So once you have the follow-up in place, what does that value ladder actually look like, which we've covered? The next is the actual sales process, the funnels, the team, the implementation, your coaching to sell process, or your onboard to sell, or there's a few other frameworks that you can use to sell, for spin selling, question-based selling, demo selling, right? All of those work there. And then finally, how do you track everything? Are you tracking everything? Do you know that which traffic sources work best for you? Do you know how much you need to put in to get X amount out? And if you put that much in, when will you get a return, 100% return on your investment? Because if you know those things, then you're solid. Now you can grow and scale. But if you're missing any of those things, you have to look at that. Now, the fastest way to do that is you go to, you check the comments below. We'll have a link there. You can go to register for a training and download a report that will let you learn more in depth on this. I go and break it all down. It's a 3-hour workshop where we break everything down in this. And if you want our help at the end of that workshop, we can have a conversation and we'll help you with that. Alternatively, you can keep watching this show. I will be continually producing new content around this topic. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be breaking each one of these down individually. So each step will take me about a month and a half, sometimes 2 months to go through each of the steps that are in each one of those. And once I've broken that down, now you'll be able to go through and take this all. So it's, if you want to get it all for free, totally fine. You can do that. I will be giving everything because, in my opinion, content is a commodity. We don't actually sell content. We sell support and implementation of how to take that content and roll with it. So if you want it, cool, you can take the next 6 months or more to just to learn the process, then you still have to implement it. If you want to go faster, you want to get everything now, you can get it all free now in our webinar. Actually, it was a workshop. It's not a webinar. It's 3 hours of content and implementation, and you at the end of it have a clear understanding of what's missing and what you need to do to grow and scale your business. And because of that, we actually are going to be eventually charging for this, but right now at this moment, you know what, actually, because you're here, I'm going to always have a link special in this show notes that you can come to it for free. So even if we have later down the road, we start charging for it, if you're watching, because you're watching this right now, you will get it for free. All right. Look, I know you have lots of questions. Drop them in the comments below. Drop them in the comments. I will then come in and answer them. We'll either answer them as a comment, like responding, or I will create a video in response to your question, and then I will comment with the video so that you can also see it. So that hopefully is helpful for you guys. If you need anything, please feel free to reach out to us, and we're here to support. Have a blessed day, and see you on the next episode.